You all. Welcome to Coffee and Crime. I'm Chiquita.
And I'm Megan.
This is our first episode, and we're so glad that you joined us. We are talking about The Crash that recently debuted on Netflix. So, Megan, what did you think about The Crash? I know before you watched it, I asked you the big question I wanted you to answer once you were done was, did you think it was an accident, or did you think it was intentional? Like, was this just something tragic or
In my
a calculated
opinion,
act? Yeah.
well, I don't think it was an accident.
Okay.
Just because she had no alcohol in her system, no mushrooms, and don't what she said. The only thing they had was THC.
Okay.
And her parents tried to use the POTS diagnosis, but she never had an actual doctor come in and get on the stand, and that would have played a major role in the case if it was an accident.
Okay.
So I don't feel like it was an accident. I feel like she did it because she didn't want him to leave her.
I love all of those points. Like, I totally
what do
agree
you
with
think?
you.
Okay, I was gonna ask you the
think
same.
it was definitely a calculated incident, but I do think she intended to delete herself as well. Yeah. But she survived, right?
Yeah.
So let's fill in our guests who may not be familiar with the case. So the thing is, I already knew about the case before this even aired. So I went in already having my preconceived notions from what I thought about, it earlier. And there were a lot of things that Netflix actually left out. But this was Megan's first time hearing the case. Yeah. So let's just fill the viewers in on the case. Do you want to start?
I'll let you go first.
Okay. So
because you have more insights than I do.
So this revolves around a teenager. She was 17 at the time. Her name was Mackenzie, and she was dating this 20-year-old guy named Dom, and then one of their friends who was 19, Davion. So all three of them ended up being in this car wreck, right? So Mackenzie and Dom were living together, and then Davion was just their friend. And I think what happened is that they had gone to a party or a kickback or a get together, whatever y'all want to call them these days, the previous night, and they left that house at like 5 in the morning.
Yeah, 5, 6.
And on the way home, the car crashed and it hit a sign and then crashed into a building. Well, Mackenzie, the 17-year-old, was actually driving the car, and when the crash happened, the car was clocked at going at like 100 miles per hour, right?
101.
Yeah, 101. So yeah, and
no
skid marks or nothing, and there was like surveillance camera that caught them, and you could literally just see her speeding by and then hear the crash.
Somebody said it sounded like a missile. You know how the
missile sound?
Like woo,
yeah. It was hard to watch that part for sure.
It was.
And so somebody got to the scene, and Dom and Davion did not make it. They did not survive. And they found Mackenzie crumpled up under the steering wheel.
Yeah, which is crazy.
Yes, how did she get?
She said her head was under the steering wheel.
Yes. However,
but she had a seatbelt on. Too,
yeah,
so
I wonder how that, because especially if the airbag deploys,
right? Smack them. I don't know.
Yeah, that's kind of crazy, but
it is crazy.
Yeah, but she survived, and she was teleflighted to the local hospital there, I guess, or airlifted.
Yeah.
Was it the local hospital?
I don't know.
It must have been the local hospital.
I don't know what hospital she was at, but she had to get airlifted.
Yeah, she was airlifted, but she ended up surviving her injury. She had to have a couple of surgeries, and but it was just crazy work. Like when she was in the hospital, her mom and her were trying to book her for these agency contracts where she can have appearances and model clothes, and it was just crazy.
Which is not something that you should be doing if you're
trying to recover, right?
Recover, and you're driving a car that killed 2 of your friends.
Yes.
Like, but it's like you're trying to get recognition off of the accident. And
exactly.
That portrays a different image to what actually could have happened.
Yeah, I agree with you on that. It was, that was crazy work. So what happened after that? Investigators got involved. I know her parents decided not to speak anymore until they got an attorney.
Even Dom's parent or his dad and her sister or his sister were on her side until they went to trial and heard all the evidence. And all the, because what the dad said, he thought that they were under the influence, but turns out she was clean.
Yeah.
Nothing but THC. And she was driving with, she used to drive high all the time on THC. So she wasn't new to it.
Yeah.
She
wasn't new to it. She was true to it.
Yes, exactly.
And we left out that information. I'm glad you brought that up because at the crash they did find like
they found marijuana and some shrooms on her body
and her purse, I think.
Yeah. Well, I think the shrooms were on her person, and then the marijuana was in the backpack,
and then along with the scale.
Yes.
So
because I think Dom was
dealing.
Yeah, he was a dealer. Because
I think both of them were.
Yeah, probably.
Just from previous information before
they probably came out. Most definitely.
Yeah. So investigators got involved. They started doing the work, and they ultimately came to the conclusion that she purposefully drove that vehicle into the building, and so they took her to court, and she lost.
Yeah, she did. She tried to appeal it.
Yeah,
I think she did try to appeal it, but I don't think that went through at all.
And I think she's still trying. They're trying to come up with
a new defense. I think I
about that Dom was actually the one trying to
one. Because he threatened to crash the car before. And when I seen that, I feel like I believe Dom just because of the video recordings that he had in his phone of her at the door, saying it's my way or no way.
Mm-hmm.
And that goes back to the crash, because I feel like if he did try to leave her, they probably woke up that morning arguing, or I don't know. And then they got. My thing is, how did the friend get in the car? Davion, is that his name?
Yeah.
Davion.
So he was
supposed to ride with the other friend, but then he was like, "No, I'm just gonna go home and get some sleep."
Yeah. I think he was just extra collateral.
Yeah, I don't. Unfortunately. But I feel like if she knew that she was gonna attempt to do that, why would she bring?
I don't think she cared.
Yeah, and that was what's crazy. Yeah. And I feel like maybe he probably would have went, or what if he would have went to make sure that they're not fighting, or like he records like an altercation if it was to happen. That's how I feel. I don't know.
Yeah.
Because I don't know how he could have ended up staying at the house.
He could have and
rode with his friend. Like that was
possibly.
Yeah.
But I guess who knows, right?
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. Like, why did he get in the car?
Yeah. And unfortunately, I just feel like Mackenzie just had no regard to life itself.
Mm-hmm.
Hers, his, Dom's, or Davion's.
Nobody could have him.
Yeah.
And she didn't want to live without him.
Yeah. So what was your first impression going in, like without knowing anything, when you just saw the crash? I don't know. Did you read the little review before you push play?
No, I just pressed.
Okay. So what was your first impression?
When I seen the crash,
I
was thinking that she was under the influence.
And
she probably did fall asleep.
Okay.
But then after, watching the movie and
somebody in your opinion, thoughts had changed. Girl.
So I don't think it was she was under the influence. So that's out the window. Out the window.
Good. Okay. There's something I want to tell you too that definitely was not mentioned in the movie. What? And we'll get into it later on. Just remind me. Okay. Just remind me. Okay. So do you think that Netflix presented Mackenzie in like a positive light? Do you think they were kind of biased and highlighting the good, or do you think they
I
showed
feel
her for who
like
she really was or really
I
is?
feel like they just showed what she wanted to be put out there, like her, growing up happy, with her and her friends hang out, that side of her, not the
Yeah.
side where her, Dom's mom pulled out, the video
Yes.
recording and actually showed who she was
All right, go
as a
into
person.
detail about the recording so the
Okay,
viewers will know.
so my Dom's mom turned in a video recording of Mackenzie and Dom. Were they on the phone? Or that
Yeah.
well, he was on the phone with her and she was, I guess at his door
Door.
trying to
Yeah.
get in the house, and he was like, I'm not letting you in my house and you're acting like this. He was like, if you calm down, we could talk, or if you get away from the door, I'll come outside and we could talk, but I can't let you in when you're so hostile and aggressive.
Yeah.
Basically. And she was just like, what she say?
Oh, baby, she was on one.
Right. She was just cussing.
She was
She was
on
like,
one.
open the door now. You're gonna regret it. She was like, if
and
you
she
don't
used a lot of flowery language.
she very much did. She was cussing and just going off on him, and she was like, if you don't open the door, you're gonna regret it. It's my way or no way. And what else was she saying? She was going, yeah, she was going in.
Yeah.
And I think he recorded that for his own safety.
Yeah, he definitely did.
Definitely helped. Yeah, helped in
sure.
the case because Netflix didn't show the whole thing. That's just one clip of her acting out.
Yeah.
And I'm sure it's been multiple instances.
Yeah. Because even the mom mentioned how there was one time when Dom called her
crying, asking for help.
And he was like, they were in the car and she was threatening to crash it
with both of them in
and
there.
I think it was her boyfriend that came to help him.
Oh yeah, the mom's boyfriend. Yeah, the mom's boyfriend was on the road to them.
Yeah.
Did he ever get there? Like, cause I don't
know if they went into more detail about that, but it was just brought up. So I'll tell you what I wanted to tell you that Netflix left out about her. She was doing things for strange things for a little change.
So she was giving it out for some money. Yes. And he knew about it.
Yes, because they had an argument about that. And
they didn't
so that's how it came
and
up.
that's why I said Netflix didn't tell her whole life and what she did, how she was as a person.
Because she was trying to get, what is the platform?
OnlyFans?
Yes, I think that was it or something. Yeah, and
I know that's what
she was basically trying to have sex with her feet.
Oh yeah. With the
and
feet, people got feet fetishes.
So, but not just like her showing it, but actually
like doing it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So
he was mad about that, and he wanted her to stop. And her thing was like, "Well, we were broken up, and so, but she was getting money for it, right? So she was out here
popping it,
doing a little strange thing for some change."
Okay, and that could have factored in why he wanted to break up with her. And I know, didn't the mom or the sister say once that he tried to break up with her, but she wouldn't let him, and she threatened
probably
him.
A lot of times.
Actually, because I feel like Dom knew better. Because I know his friend was like, he tried. Oh, that's who said it. The friend. The friend was like, he's tried to leave her a lot, multiple times, and she wouldn't let him. What did she talk about? Suicide or killing him? Or what?
Well, we can't say that word.
Oh,
we gotta say delete herself.
Deleted. Okay.
Because YouTube doesn't like that word.
Okay, deleted.
For some reason, yeah.
Deleted. Okay.
But yeah, so but the parents, remember on the trial, they said that she had never thought about it.
Oh yeah, she was happy.
However, what was not shown on Netflix was that she actually was. There's actually been a call where her parents called the police to get help because she was threatening to delete herself. And then the police come to the house, and I think it was her mom that was saying, "Oh, she's fine. She's just playing around. She's not gonna really do anything." And then the dad was on the flip side of that, was like, "No, she really needs help." And but of course, as we see, nothing happened.
Yeah.
So yeah, their relationship was very toxic. What do
Yes,
you think? Do
it
you think
was.
it was like toxicity on both ends, or do you think it was just from her?
Um, on the outside looking in, I can't really see him being one to start anything just because how calm he was in a lot of the videos that they did show and how his friends portrayed him as a person and his characteristics. I feel like majority of it, I'm not gonna say that he probably didn't have a role in it, but I feel like majority of their arguments and toxicity was through her.
Yeah.
And her emotions, and she didn't like some of the things that he was doing, or the time she always needed something, and if he didn't do it she would be upset.
Yeah.
Like I honestly feel like she was with him because of the things that he
was
did.
doing.
Yeah,
Because he was
buying
bringing money.
designer,
Yeah.
designer clothes, shoes, and purses, and glasses, and just a whole bunch of.
And she was probably walking the halls of the schools like,
yeah, my man brought that, like, and you know how high schoolers are.
Yeah.
When you get somebody that spends some money on you, you got to keep
And
them
she was
around.
big on social media.
Yeah,
her
she was.
social media presence.
She had to
at least
keep
trying
it,
to be.
keep
Yeah.
it up, keep up a good
appearances.
image. Yeah.
Yeah.
So
I would
feel
say
like
a good image, but appearances. Like she had, yeah.
Well, yeah, because they was on social media partying.
Yeah. And smoking
and all that,
yes.
drinking. Yeah, I feel like she did have a bigger role in the toxicity.
Yeah,
than
I think
did.
both of them did. I agree. I think maybe she had a bigger role, but I think he was probably just as toxic. I don't think he had the nature to do things that she did,
but he still had those tendencies.
Yeah, but I do think there was probably toxicity coming from both ends, and I think that he may have felt a little bit trapped too, though.
Yeah.
Like, and though he wanted to end it,
he didn't know how.
Yeah, he didn't know how
without hurting her or feeling scared for his own life. Yeah, because she popped up at his door and was banging on it. If you don't let me in, you're gonna.
But then you also get kind of caught in cycles. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. Just kind of like
it's like a
revolving door.
Good 1 minute, the next is the same thing. Yeah,
and you kind of start missing things and like, oh, there are good moments, and you kind of get hooked on that, and then you get reeled back in, and then or it could be like, as a man wanting to feel needed, and she was very needy. Obviously, and so I think it was probably a little bit of all of that, but in that was for him toxicity, because now you're kind of continuing that pattern and not breaking, you're not disrupting it. You know what I'm saying? So
you keep allowing it, basically.
Yeah, exactly. So do you feel like this was like a teenage heartbreak, or do you think she was kind of obsessive? Because like you said, she didn't.
I think it probably was both. Yeah, because
they had been together for a while. So I think she was like 14.
Yeah, they said they were together for 13 4 years.
Okay, so then she was like 13.
Yeah, and he was
16 because he was like 3 years older than her. Because at the time of the accident, she was 17 and he was 20. So there's a 3-year difference.
So yeah, they've been together. Yeah.
Now, see, I feel. What do you think about the age gap? What do you think, especially
13 being
13 and 16?
I wouldn't let my daughter bring home a 16-year-old, because that's like what he's in high school, maybe sophomore. She's still in middle school.
Yeah,
I wouldn't like that. I wouldn't allow that. Yeah, just because of the age difference. Yeah, like, you're in high school, she's in middle school. You're doing things that she probably doesn't need to be doing.
Exactly.
I wouldn't.
I don't even think I would be allowing my 13-year-old
today. Period.
I think I was still playing with dolls. Like, what are you doing? Thinking about trying to have a relationship,
a boyfriend.
You know what I'm saying? So and just thinking about 3 years, it doesn't seem like a big age gap, but I think
But they were so
whatever period
young.
you're in your life, like if we're speaking like about a 30-year-old or 33-year-old, I don't feel like that's
Right,
a
that's
big thing.
nothing.
But
But
talking about a 13-year-old and a 16-year-old, like you
yeah,
said, they're in two different
school,
stages, and
yeah,
yeah,
stages in life, and I feel like she was obsessive too,
yeah,
just because they've been together for so long,
yeah.
and I feel like I would say at that age, I would assume that he took her, virgin.
Well, we don't know
Yeah,
because
and
also Netflix left out this. She also had previous ex boyfriends that have spoken out. And it's just
oh,
like, when
about
did
the
these
same things, like
ex
her being
boyfriends come
crazy.
in? And you know what I'm saying? Because
Okay, well,
when did
never
you have
mind.
them? Was it before Dom,
We'll
or was
scratch
it
that.
like in between Dom?
Right.
Like,
Cause
I don't know.
I know he well no, she said something about him cheating on her. But I'm sure she
She was
probably cheated
probably
on
doing the
him.
same thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I do feel like she was obsessive just because the stuff that he was doing for her.
Yeah.
And she probably did, she was in love. I could give her that. Because,
Yeah.
you can't be around somebody every day, all day, and not have
Okay.
feelings for them,
That was something I wanted to ask you. Did you think it was like real love? Like, did you really think she cared about Dom, or?
I feel like she did care about him at one point,
Yeah.
but then she got too comfortable with him. What is it called? What do they call
Just being
it?
complacent, maybe?
That and something lifestyle. He pays for her lifestyle basically.
Okay.
I forgot.
He's funding her.
Yes,
Yeah.
funding her lifestyle. So I feel like once she got too
She was
comfortable
getting what she wanted.
and through the arguments and him taking her back and them talking through their problems, I feel like she was like, well, I could do what I want, I could say what I want, and he'll still be here. And I feel like she got too comfortable, and then when he tried to leave, I feel like she got mad, and then the obsessive side of her came out, and she was like, well, if nobody can have you, then well, if I can't have you, nobody will. Yeah. And we'll both be gone.
Yeah.
So I feel like it was both.
Yeah. I think it probably started off with her really kind of having that puppy love for him, because we all think that first love is like, oh my
I'm in
gosh,
love, we're gonna
know,
marry you.
yes, exactly.
And you're in high
I
school.
can't live without, so I think it may have started off with that and then gradually turned into something else. And I'm kind of like, you made a good point, like how he was funding what she wanted, What about even living with him? What did you think about that?
Me personally, my kids cannot move out of my house until they're 18 and they want to move. So I wouldn't let my 13, 17. How old were they when they moved in?
I don't
16,
know.
17. I'm gonna say that. Hopefully. That's still too young.
It is
for you to move out on your own.
Yeah.
He's basically funding your whole lifestyle because you're not working. I wouldn't want my kids to depend on anybody.
Amen.
Especially at a young age.
Yes.
Like, you have all this life to live. You have to learn how to hustle and make your own money and be independent like you want to be, because you're acting like you're grown, but really you don't have nothing. If it wasn't for Dom, you wouldn't have none of the stuff that she probably has.
Yeah, I agree, because I don't think her parents were probably
not rich,
buying
like
her that kind of stuff. Yeah,
I know
and,
her dad.
And it was just kind of like, and we're dumb getting all this money, but then I had to think about,
they were saying he did crypto. He traded crypto.
Yeah, but they were also
he was selling
dealing.
He was dealing.
Both
for
of them
sure.
were, because even the night that before the crash, there's a
messages.
There was messages, but there's some that weren't on the Facebook documentary. The Netflix documentary, that was just like you had a list of people trying to buy stuff off of them. Well, it was sent to her, so they both were in it. I think.
Well, it was in her backpack too, so
because who walks around with a scale? Unless you out here,
feeling how much you
need. Exactly.
How much you want? Yeah,
exactly. But girl, no, my 17-year-old definitely would not be like.
You're gonna stay in the room.
Yes.
Y'all can come visit each other,
but
go
going out
but
to live with somebody at 17, and then even if 18, okay, you're grown, I can't control you anymore. But my mindset and my encouragement to my child would be, you need to, if you're ready to go out on your own, go out and be independent, like you were saying.
On your own.
Yeah. Find your own path. Yeah. Because mom never wants you to find yourself in a place where you're dependent on the next person for your survival. You know what I'm saying? You don't have to go to college. There are always other avenues if that's not where you the way you want to go. But make sure you're taking a positive path forward in life and not just shacking up with somebody, just
doing what you want to do because you're living day by day.
Yeah, exactly, because that's exactly what they were. Just out doing. You're being a teenager, which is fine. Yeah, it's okay, but don't try to teeter the fence with I'm an adult, but I'm still wanting to do these childish things. No, you gotta make your choice.
Pick your poison.
Yeah, pick your poison. Exactly.
Which know what I'm saying? You want to be an adult or you want to be a teenager?
Exactly. And speaking of that, being an adult or being a teenager, what do you think about them when it did come to trial? Them trying her as an adult versus a child.
She was 17 and she had I don't know about no license, but I feel like she definitely needed to be tried as an adult because they said the crash happened right before her 18th birthday.
Yes, it was like 2 days before, I think, or something like that.
So she definitely needed to be tried, especially after all the stuff that they found in her phone, video-wise, messages, everything that they found in her phone. That is not a child. That's an adult. You're acting like an adult. All the things in your phone point that you're an adult. You know what you're doing. Yeah. You're gonna be tried as an adult. And she was about to turn 18 anyway. So.
Yeah. But by the time they went to trial, she was.
She was already 18, probably 19.
And speaking of the trial, what did you think of how she was acting? Do you think that was genuine? Y'all, she was all, and these her face emotes emotions very well. I'm kind of like that. And so she had her eyes were on,
and she wasn't really so crying. Sad. It was like
would not one tear.
It was like it wasn't even falling. That was just
wet. It was no tears coming.
Were wet. I was looking at her like. It kind of made me mad because you sitting here reading this BS, it's like apology. When she read that apology, I said, "That's all you said." All you said was, "I'm so sorry." What she say? I'm sorry that it was never my intent to kill anybody. I apologize to the families. Like it was very bland,
yes,
and very non-emotional. Like
and Davion's if it was sister called her out,
she was like,
I was like,
"Yes, ma'am."
Baby, she did.
She could have kept that.
The worst apology she's ever heard.
She could have kept that to herself because she just made herself look worse. Yeah. Like, girl, you're
not. Her mom. When her mom got up to do the impact letter.
Her judge said, I'm not hearing nothing about the victims. It's always about your daughter.
Called that mom out. I
was like, okay. They should, because no. They want sympathy for her, but she's in the courtroom doing alligator tears. Like, she's forcing herself. And when I was looking at her and she was talking and her mom was talking, I'm like, Mama, you need to go to jail
and
too.
She was in the background. And still not a tear. Like, it's not a tear coming down.
That's what I was like, yeah, no.
Okay, speaking of the mom, what did you think about their relationship? Well, not just her mom, let's say her parents' relationship with her.
I feel like they just let her do whatever she wants. Mm-hmm. Because if that was my daughter outside every day, smoking with friends, posting it on social media, like, at least if you're going to do it, let me know. Don't post it because you're not old enough, and do it at home when you're safe. But you're out here partying, doing shrooms, or other drugs.
They were enabling her for
sure, because they weren't disciplining her.
Yeah.
And I know every time she got in trouble at school, they said that she just became more and more rebellious.
Yes, because they made excuses.
Right, they were making excuses that she wasn't getting punished. What they say, they gave her more freedom after all the incidents that she has. So yeah, I did feel like they did enable a lot all of her behavior.
They kind of helped to create that monster. Yeah,
letting her hang around the type of friends that she was around. Like, basically, she was an adult. And they weren't treating her like the child she is.
I don't. Yeah, I didn't agree definitely with their parenting decisions. Like,
nobody's perfect. Her. Of course, nobody's perfect as a family.
And I think that was an act they were putting on. Yeah, even to kind of start with that, I think they were trying to reel people's emotions in.
Didn't they
of course
say
nobody's perfect, but we know that, right?
Yeah, we
nobody's
know that.
Saying that.
This is not the right. This is not parenting. Honey.
Yes,
this
is not
friends.
They're friends. Yes,
they're friends before parents.
Yeah, Mackenzie was definitely running that household. She definitely was. So
I feel like they were scared of her.
Yeah,
like, you scared she's gonna cuss you out or something? Tell her to go in the room. Like,
even some of their phone calls, I know they didn't do a whole lot on the Netflix special, but there were even phone calls where her mom and her were in jail speaking pig Latin. I don't know if you know that.
I noticed. Yeah, I noticed that. And I was like, what are they talking about? You trust me? Trust you with what?
Yeah, it's just, and it's like for her mom, I still feel like her mom's feeding into that and still enabling bad behavior. Like, cause why?
And when she got on there, still to this day, when she got, she showed her face on the camera finally, in her jail outfit.
She thought, baby, you can tell her, no, she had her little jail makeup on and her little
swoop-de-whoop.
That's a swoop-de-whoop.
But even still to this day, yeah. Even still to the time they recorded, I still didn't see any emotion.
Exactly. It was kind of like, even behind the scenes, she was like, "Oh, how did I do?" Or did I get
to her lawyer?
Yeah. I was like,
no, you didn't hit nothing, honey. Yeah. You didn't tell. And my thing is, how don't you remember what happened? If you weren't on drugs, you weren't on nothing, no alcohol or nothing, how you don't remember?
Well, now I can see that, but
okay, well, yeah,
I don't think I think she does remember, but when I say I can see that, I mean, like, from a medical perspective, that is very possible that a person can
forget memory.
Have amnesia I and can that too. Forget that. But do I think she has forgotten? I don't.
Because she said it too quick, and then like when she was saying it, she kept looking away from whoever she was talking to, and that's a sign for me that you're lying. Like, why you can't look at me in the eyes and tell me that
And this was not on the special either, but there was a jailhouse talk between her and her mom, where she's telling her mom that it was basically Dom's fault. But then she was trying to speak in code because she knows the calls were being recorded, and she's kind of like, "I'll tell you more when we're on a different line," and da 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 da. So
I feel like, what if she only said that because she knows that there were messages that she sent to Dom's mom, or Dom's mom, right?
I don't know which messages are.
Well, she was like, where she sent a message that time where she was trying to make it seem like it was him that grabbed the wheel.
Oh yeah. I think she.
That was.
I know what she's talking about. Yeah.
Yeah. So what if she tried to say it was Dom's fault?
So that's what they're trying to get the retrial based on those things. Yeah.
But my thing is, if you don't remember what happened, how do you know it's his fault?
Yeah, exactly.
And then you had no alcohol, no drug, or no drugs or nothing in your system, but you said the only thing you remember was turning down the street, and then the next thing you remember, you waking up in the hospital. So you don't remember you were going fast. You don't remember you didn't hit the brakes. You don't remember what y'all were talking like.
Yeah,
I don't know. That's just kind of fishy. You don't remember nothing but going down the street, and then turn around and say it was Dom's fault. Yeah. So which one is it?
Yeah. Okay, I think I know how you're going to answer this,
Okay.
but do parents sometimes love their children so blindly that they can't see who they've become?
I would say yeah.
Yeah. Do you
I
think
would
that's what kind of what happened in this
say
case?
I feel like yeah, because I feel like growing up, she probably was a good, sweet child, and maybe towards like middle school, high school years is when she started acting out because you get around older people,
Mm-hmm.
you're around bigger
And the
people.
parents were trying to be friends
Yeah,
versus
that
still
being
parents.
parents, they were trying to
Yeah.
be friends and talk to her and let her do what she wants just to make her feel safe and comfortable enough to come talk to them about stuff.
I think
But
you can create that with your kids
and
and still
still
be
have
their parent.
boundaries,
Yes,
and
exactly.
yes, you definitely
I
can. But
think maybe the mom was trying to live vicariously through Mackenzie. Like,
yeah, maybe, and dad was just there because
yeah,
when the police told the parents that she was driving in the hospital, and the mom was just, I don't know. I feel like she was in denial.
yeah,
Like, who died? What do you mean? Like, who was
yeah.
driving? And then, yeah, I feel like
I will say this too, and it was never recorded, and I don't know why. But supposedly the dad initially said that when he found out that Mackenzie did it on purpose, he told a police officer this. Yes.
and it wasn't recorded.
It was not recorded. And
She would
so
have been
that
in
way
jail for
it
life for
wasn't
real.
able to get
The proper
yeah.
evidence.
So
That's hearsay.
yeah.
That's crazy.
And then of course, I think that happened like almost immediately, like when he found out or something like that. I think he said it then. And then of course once they
But
got together and
I don't know why they're like, what happened, your daughter's guilty, and you're still right here defending her and lying for her.
Yeah.
Really, that's my thing. Like, as a parent, I feel like if my child was to do something like that and they told me the truth, and I would be right there, to lie for them just because I'm thinking about the other family, and they need their closure as to what happened to their child, and not just be filled with lies. And
that was something I was going to ask you about too. But I think that how the parents are acting kind of just speaks to Mackenzie's character and how she was raised, right? Mm-hmm. So it did not surprise me when her mom got up in court and was just very nonchalant about how the victims and their families
worried about her and her only.
So yeah, I think it just speaks a lot to Mackenzie's character because the parents are the same kind of way,
right?
Yeah. So
you only learn what you're around.
Yeah, like, exactly. And can we give it up for Davion's sister again? Right. Baby, she was on point.
She should. She said she's bullshit. Yeah, that was a BS apology. She was
on point, and I loved her victim impact letter.
Yes, she did read that very strong card. Yeah. I would have been up there bawling. Yeah. And like when you think about it, that was her older brother, the one that took care of her siblings while they were in foster care. Yes. And I know that did take probably a big toll on her because that was probably the only person that she could trust besides her sister.
That's probably obviously been there.
Right. The only person that's been there her whole life. Exactly. It's not parents. It's him and her sister. Yeah. And now he's gone, and now it's just the sisters. Yeah. So I do feel that, yeah, it's very sad.
Definitely.
I hate that.
Was there anything that made you doubt? Okay, so you said you definitely felt it was intentional. So was there anything in the movie that made you doubt that it was intentional, or was kind of swaying you that it could be just an accident?
Absolutely not.
When you said that, I knew hell to the no.
Initially, I felt like, because I told you, I felt like it was an accident at first because I thought, they said something about a party before and they found shrooms and marijuana on her. So I just assumed, under the influence or, fell asleep behind the wheel, like they said.
Yeah.
But later on, I was like, yeah, it's not an accident. Because from her apologies to her not showing emotion in court to her saying, not trying to remember what happened, or, you reaching out to the family saying you're sorry, but like you're not really apologizing for it. You're just saying, I'm sorry, y'all didn't mean to. Like it wasn't intentional. Who wants to hear that?
Right.
Nobody wants to hear that. So I just was like, yeah, no, this definitely on purpose. She had a plan. She probably, what did you say, deleted her? She probably was trying to delete herself too.
I think so.
But I feel like maybe she didn't want to delete herself either, because she had her seatbelt on. And did they have their seatbelts on?
I don't think so.
She had her seatbelt on. So I feel like she thought the seatbelt would protect her from going out the window.
And I kind of thought about that too, but then I just was thinking like,
but who would want to go through all this pain? Yeah, you never know what's gonna happen.
Exactly. You could end up living and then
be paralyzed.
Yeah, or
have
something
no
like
brain.
that. Yeah.
Like, you
so I think,
know.
She was probably intending to
delete
herself.
Yeah.
But I do think Netflix was very intentional with how they opened up and leaving that question mark, like, was this an accident or was this
they didn't put enough information in there.
They just opened up with the crash.
Yes, they didn't.
Yeah. Okay. So, what did you think about the verdict? And do you think it was fair or was it excessive?
I think it was fair because all the evidence points to her doing it on purpose. And she can't recall what happened. She can't sit there and say, she doesn't have evidence of nothing, because all the evidence that they have from the videos of her, calling him out his name and was like, you're gonna regret it, from the messages of her saying, if I were you, I'd watch your house, watch your car.
Yeah, she did.
Watch your life, actually. Like, all of that points to her premeditating murder, and she did
a dry run. I think they showed that on Netflix or said that, like, I think it was the day before she did that route. They called her on camera.
No, they didn't put that in Netflix.
Yes. So yeah, she did a dry run. Like, I think it was literally the day before, because that was a route that she never usually goes.
Yeah.
And they saw her just taking that route the day before, like scoping out the scene. Yes.
That's crazy.
What about her using the defense that she had this medical issue, basically where she has syncope?
Out.
Blacks out. Syncope episodes. POTS is what it's called. What did you think about that? Do you think she really has it? And if
I feel like if she was medically diagnosed with it and actually has it, then her attorney would have had either the person that diagnosed her or another doctor re-diagnose her,
or some health files
or something. Like, they would have showed that, but being that they did not show any evidence of her actually having the condition, I just think that was BS.
And they're still holding on to that.
And the mom, it's the parents.
And then they renewed her license though, like a little bit right after that. I think it was like next week or something.
She's not gonna need this.
and still did not dispose of the fact or expose the fact that she has this condition when they went to renew her license.
Right. You're supposed to
disclose that information.
That's a medical issue. Don't they put medical issues on your license?
Yes, exactly.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Period. Yeah, that's why I was like, if she really had it, they would have used that in court to help her, not to,
So do you think this situation, like in this case, her saying she has POTS, do you think that makes other people who really do live with that, do you think it gives them a negative light, shed like a negative light upon them? And
I wouldn't say that. I don't really think that they would. I just think that they would be careful driving, because you know what type of condition you have.
Yeah.
And, you know what the do's and the don'ts of the actual condition. I feel like she just used that to like, I don't know if her parents just Googled some stuff to like tell her to say like, but if it was medically diagnosed, they would have showed it. Yeah. But I don't feel like, well, I don't really know.
I think sometimes that does.
It might sometimes
sway people to think differently about something, and they're just like, well, she has this, and it makes it seem like everybody is not doing the things that they should be doing if they have this condition, or you know what I'm saying. So
yeah, I don't. Well, we don't really know if she has it or not either. So
I don't think she does.
I don't.
I don't either, because they weren't able, like you said, they didn't bring any kind of medical support. Nothing.
That that's just like on other cases, they'll bring a psych in to see if you're crazy.
But I think that's what kind of sheds the negative light, because you have this person playing on that,
claiming you have something,
like that crying really wolf type of thing. Yeah, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, okay, I get it. So yeah. But I feel like she should not have. She shouldn't have said that if she really doesn't have it and can't show proof. Yeah, people really with that condition, they might.
All right, we're about to end this thing. I think we've done a pretty good one.
Yeah, we did.
But I want to do something called the cold brew take. Okay.
Cold brew take.
Yes.
Okay.
And what that is, it's gonna be our hot take from whatever we're talking about. Like, it can be whatever you think.
Okay.
So mine is that her parents made her look worse than what she is. Her parents did not help her at all.
Elaborate.
I think just because of how they enabled her behavior, how they would feed into her, like them painting a picture, like you said, like Netflix really like showed a lot of her being happy, but I think like how her parents came in and how they were acting, how they responded to her, I feel like that all painted her in a negative light.
Yes.
Yeah. Her parents did her no favors
at all.
That's my cold brew take. What's yours?
I would say the same. Yeah, her parents did not paint her as a pretty princess
at all. Even though in their mind they were.
Yes, they thought mom was like, I'm sorry, okay, I'm sorry, like.
Like, lady,
sit down.
Read the room.
You look guilty yourself. Do you know what happened?
Exactly.
Right. So yeah, her parents didn't do her no justice, and I feel like she used her, or she let her emotions outweigh reality of the whole situation.
Oh yes, that's a good one.
I feel like she didn't think about the what ifs or the possibility of her surviving and the future that would bring for her.
Yeah.
And God don't like ugly, because look at her. And she survived.
Yeah.
But she's not where she wants to be.
Exactly.
She's a what did they call
she got
an
15
example?
to life.
I thought and she had 15 to life for both charges, right? So
yeah, but she's serving them concurrently, so at the same
30?
time.
Oh, okay.
So she has to do at least 15.
I know they
before
said
she can go before the parole board.
I know they said her probation is like 2037, so that's like 11 years.
32 when she.
I hope they deny it.
Yeah,
she don't need to get out, honey. No, she didn't learn a lesson. She just sitting in there getting pretty. She said, "I'm just sitting there, I'm taking it day by day."
Listen, you gotta listen to some of them phone calls too between her and her mom. They have been recorded.
They should have added those on a Netflix documentary to give them more insight of her.
It's a lot, and you'll just be like, "What?" And then the way they just even talk, I could not imagine. They talking like to friends. My parents, like
she talked to them crazy.
Yes,
that's why I said I feel like they were scared of her, and she ran the house.
Yes, and the potty mouth of it all too. It was like every other word, like
a cuss
yes,
word. Yeah, she ran her parents.
Yeah, it was definitely
couldn't
like
be me. Shut up. That's why you're where you at now. You can't control yourself.
No control. There's none. No self-control. All right. we're gonna
That
go
was a
ahead and
good
end. Is
talk.
there anything else you want to say to end things off? Because I have a question for the viewers that I
I'm
hope
good. I don't have
they'll
any questions.
take a moment and drop it down in our chat.
Okay. I don't have anything though. I think we covered a lot of most of everything.
Yeah, I think so too. I feel like this was a great one to kick off
to
things.
talk about.
And I feel like it has a lot of people talking like this isn't new. Like, well, it's newer, but it's been a few years ago. And so, like I said, I've heard of the case. I've been familiar with it. But I was glad to see that it's being brought up and more people are seeing her for who she is or whatever. Even her mom has started like a Facebook support group for her. I think it's like an Instagram support group.
Okay, because I know they said something about somebody even made a Facebook like a support Facebook account for her, and it was like, "Thank you for whoever made it." Was it somebody or was
it you? All right, guys. So I have a question here. I want to know: do you think Mackenzie was an evil mastermind, or do you think this was an emotional explosion plus impulsive split-second decision?
That's a good question.
That's a good one. Yeah. So was it masterminded
or was it
by evilness, or was it
we arguing in the car right now?
Emotional thing and
dead.
Yeah. All right, you guys, we are heading out. Drop down in our comments and let's talk about it. It's been a good one, girl.
See y'all later.
Bye.